Okay, so let's start with a small example. I have prepared a Maven project. Anyone familiar with Maven? Yeah, a few of you? Okay. It's a build tool that you could use for developing Java. That's a short description. There could be a longer description, but let's not go there. Tack. Okay. Okay, so I've got my microphone stand here. Thank you very much for that. This was not prepared. And let me see if I can.
You mean it's not part of the specification?
No. If I would have written the specification, it might have been dressed a little bit differently.
It might be a woman.
Well, your preferences. So here we are with the same feature as we saw a few minutes ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some glue code to this. Excuse me. Okay. So the feature is very simple. We have a setup, then we will execute the system, and finally we will assert it. To be able to do this, I need to add something that actually will locate this feature. So I'm going to add some Java code. I'm going to call run queues test like this. This one, if I annotate it correctly, will connect Cucumber to the specification like this. So I'm going to run this with a specific JUnit runner like this. And let's stop here and let's see what happens when I execute this test. And I'm sorry, I do have a bit of a cold. Anyway, we have green bar. Perfect. Everything works. So I guess we could go home. But actually, I can see here that we have some stuff that is ignored using the lingo of JUnit. And we can see that I have some suggestions of some steps that actually are missing. So I'm going to copy these and use them as a starting point for implementing the glue code to connect to the system on test. Yeah. Okay, so where should I do that? Well, I have a class that I call steps, so let me implement the Java class that I call fuel card steps. Like this. And I'm just going to paste the suggestions here and discuss them a little bit. But first I'm going to make sure that it actually compiles. And here we can see that I got two suggestions for the annotation when, and this shows us that that Cucumber has been translated in many different languages, in this case English and Australian English. I'm not sure what the difference here. But it has been translated in Norwegian. The lead developer is from Norway. It is available in Swedish. I'm not sure if it's available in Romanian. I would actually expect it to be. It has been translated to some 40 different languages. So you should be able to write the specifications in Romania as well, if you feel that's appropriate. Okay, this example should actually compile. I got a yellow dot here telling me that some stuff is not used, but that could be okay. Okay, so let's run this. Something happened. Implement me. So the given part here throws a pending exception actually they all throw a pending exception. And this one will be translated into to do. This one is not implemented. Okay, so I could remove that one and I could rerun this, but let's remove all of these and see if it works. Oops, wrong button. Perfect. Okay, so the system is actually working in a sense. We have a green bar at least. Okay, we have it connected to the system under test. And the system under test should be really, really easy, simple. And I'm going to implement a small car, or actually a car. We don't know if it's small or big. I'm going to implement that one. This will be our system under test, and then I'm going to connect it here. Okay, so the product here is a very trivial example where I will implement a car. This could of course be the starting point. This could of course be the starting point for our world domination project. And in the steps I'm going to make sure that I create a car, because I have to set up the system under test.
He likes me.
Oh, don't tell my fiance. Anyway, I'm creating a new car, and I'm gonna create a field for it, like this, to make sure that the system under test is available for the next step as well. How can I know which method should be executed for which part of the specification? Well, this is a regular expression that will be matched. So we will search among the features for this regular expression using this regular expression, and then we're going to match the steps with the feature part. This group will be translated into a parameter to the method, and someone, most like, has made a qualified guess that if you have a digit in your specification, that's probably something that you should be changing. So if that's not the case, then you have to fix it. The parameter here could perhaps be called better than arc1. Let's call it initial view level, like this. And let's make sure that we create the car with this initial fuel level, like this. This will of course not compile because the constructor isn't available yet, so let's do that. And let's leave it like this. Let's see what happens. And it failed, of course, because it hasn't been implemented. This one is of course optional. It's very common that tools like this will just do nothing or will return null or anything else. But I've changed my development environment to insert not implemented exception instead, because then there's no chance that I will run this and forget about it and put it into production and use it. That won't happen. Okay, so what I will do is I will remove this. I will put this into a field, initial fuel level, but I will call it fuel level instead. Like that. Okay. So let's go back to the steps. Looks good. Okay, let's run this and see what happens. Worked. Perfect. Although I know at least, that we don't do anything here. So this is probably the added fuel, and we should add that to the car. Car.add fuel could perhaps be a reasonable method name, using the added fuel as parameter. Doesn't exist, so we have to implement that one. Add fuel is an integer, added fuel, that's great. You always see what happens, so I won't keep this. What I will do is I will use fuel level and just and we added few level to it, like this.
Anyone sleeping?
Let's take a technical break afterwards and fix that. No one got hurt? Good, that's good. Okay, so back to the example. Let's see if this executes. It does, perfect. Okay, the final part of this step, this example, is of course to assert the system and test. In the given part, I'm setting it up. When, then I'm using it, and now I need to assert. Because if we don't assert, then we won't know if anything's wrong. And just a curious question, how many in here are doing TDD? Okay, some of you. How many, keep your hands up, please. How many of you have seen tests without asserts? Keep your hand up. All of us. That's really embarrassing. I've never done myself, but I have worked with people who actually did that. Awful. Okay, the last part. This would be the expected fuel level. Yeah, okay, so I got the spelling correct as well. And I want to compare that with the actual fuel level, which we should ask the car for. Like this. This method doesn't exist, so I'm going to create a getter for it, which will return the fuel level. Perfect. Okay, one final thing, of course, is to add the assert. This one could give us 100% test coverage, and we will never see if something went wrong if we don't add this part. And I have to do some imports here, so I'm going to start to import assert that, and then import the Hamcrest method matcher is. Okay, so let's see what happens. Ah, it worked. Are we actually executing this one, or am I faking? Let's see, let's change this. Say that we have 10 liters, we add a small random number, say 17. We might not end up with 60. Let's see. Ah, it failed. I was expecting 60, that's this figure, but I ended up with 27. That's 17 plus 10. So yeah, we are actually using this feature. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. I wonder which button I'm actually pressing. Oh, now I know. Okay, so this works. Let me show you how I could have this working using Maven as well. I said I was using it from the beginning. Oh, it's large. Can you see in the back when I shrink a little bit like this? I hope you can see it at least. So let me just run Maven, clean, and then install. This will build the entire system and also execute all the tests. And it worked. Let me just change this to something else so we can see that I'm not faking. So I'm going to add new answer, the answer, 42, and run this one again. And we have a build failure. We're expected 42, but we got 60. Okay, so we are actually executing this example. And let me change this one back, so I don't forget it later. Like this. And let's build it once more, just to see that it works. Yeah, and it did. Okay, I'm done with the coding part, and now I'm going to go back to the presentation.